You know what stands in the way of most traders today is this: upstairs. Being able to control the psyche, the whole psychological parameter or realm that allows us to really focus in to become great day traders, okay? So, what does it really take to become a disciplined style trader? Let's talk about that. Kind of sit back, watch the intro. We're going to jump right into the video, and I'm going to explain a few things that you can actually do to gain control of yourself when you're trading so that you're able to become a profitable day trader each and every day. So do you want to become profitable, right? You want to do away with all the struggles each and every day. Something, whatever it may be, that you are having a hard time with, trying to overcome. What barrier is standing in your way? Let me give you some pointers, okay? And basically some things that will really transform you as a person, okay? And which would also allow your trading to take it to the next level. All right, let's talk about those. I'm going to go over 5 things right now. And number 1, strictly stick to your trading plan. Do not deviate from it. Stay on the right path. Okay, what does that mean? From day to day, all right, whatever lies within your trading plan, whatever you formulated, whatever you created, whatever you put on that whiteboard or that notebook that you've written down, those step-by-step procedures, not say procedures, but a list of things that you know you need to follow, okay, on a daily basis, stick to that. The moment you deviate and pull away from, all right, either, let's say you got 10 things in your trading plan, and there's steps that you need to follow. They're guidelines, all right? They're rules that help you become a structured trader, all right? If you deviate from any of that, you run the risk of doing what? Run the risk of taking a bad entry. If you've back tested, say, your strategy, which is part of your trading plan, over and over and over, and you found to yourself to have a pretty decent or high win rate using it, okay? And yes, the markets are always doing something different, but that's the fun about it. That's the game of chess that we play each and every day as a trader. So stick with your trading plan. Do not move even the slightest away from it. What I see traders do right here, traders, you know, they basically comment, and what I see is that one day they're doing well, and then the next day, let's say they're doing well for a whole week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, and then the market falls into a slump, which causes their, I guess, their mental state to kind of fall in a slump, okay? Because you're not as enthusiastic about what's going on in the market. Market's just kind of consolidating and moving sideways, and you don't have the patience. You want to make money, right? But we all know the market sometimes it does things to fool us. It's more of a mental game, all right, than it just staying, you know, doing what it's going to do each and every day, just showing us great setups with great volatility. No, it's not always going to work like that. Things happen for a reason. It's a game of chess, excuse me, guys. It's a game that is designed to psych us out as traders. The best traders do what? They're patient, all right? And that's something on the list that I want to talk about too. It's one of those, these 5 things that I'm going over, okay? But the rules of your trading plan, the guide, okay? If that's your holy Bible when it comes to trading, you know, that trading plan, stick with it. Don't move away or change one thing about it if it's working for you. So many traders, they stick with a good plan they have, and then they move away from it because the market has shifted or changed, all right? Don't do that, because in your psyche, you're starting to psych your own self out. Just because the market is designed to really, you know, play games with you mentally. Just stay on path, okay? Stick with your trading plan. That's probably one of the best pieces of advice I could give you, all right? If today you don't see a good setup that surrounds your trading plan and you can use with a strategy that you have or you use on a daily, or one of those strategies that you have in your arsenal, you may have 2 or 3 different strategies you trade. You don't see a great setup, don't trade. Simply put, all right? Don't take the risk. one thing about trading is risk management, all right? That we have to be able to decipher or decide, is today going to be the day? Is today not a good day for me to trade? Then step away from the market. That's one thing I can tell you to do. If you don't see a clean setup, just go find something else to do. Because you run the risk of not blowing your account, but risking money, putting money on the line that you're not comfortable about, doing. Okay? So let's move on to number two. Number two, be patient. What I just said, just talked about. If you don't have patience, and I've said this in tons of videos, you're not going to make it in this business. Again, tie your hands down. Stop putting your hand on your mouse or your hotkeys on your keyboard and just wanting to click and be in a trade each and every time. Again, the best traders are ones who are the most patient. I think patient is probably one of the toughest, struggles that most identified traders have a hard time with. Those that know they can do well and proving that they can succeed in this business and have, turn accounts around to where they've shown growth in their accounts and built up an account. Guess what? Again, the market is there and designed to play tricks with our mind. This is more probably 95% mental than, just based on all technical. Okay. All right. It's an art. It's not, nothing scientific about trading or science. There's no science surrounding trading, trying to, analyze or, the market did this today, tomorrow it's going to do this, the same thing. No, it's not. Okay. Now, you may see similar setups that take place from one day to the next, or from what happened today, and that happened last week or the week before. But if you're not patient and waiting on those great setups, then you're going to fail yourself, okay? And that's when things are going to start to slip away from you, all right? And then you're going to watch that account that you built and put so much energy in building and had so much patience before, you're going to slowly start to see it dwindle down. All right. I see so many traders always say this. They always say, well, I was day trading and scalping the market and I was doing well for 2 or 3 months, even 4 or 5 months. Then all of a sudden the market just stopped. It became stale, no great setups. And then they started forcing themselves to take trades and then they started taking losses. All right. You got to stop doing that. You've got to stay on track. Don't see it today. Don't trade today. See a good setup, the very next day, then take that trade. But it's all about, when there's a high probability setup. When things are probably lied or lay within your favor of taking a great setup. Then take it. If you feel that you're on the fence 50-50, then don't take that trade. All right, moving on. Take high probability setups. Stop taking the low risk ones. We've talked about this so many times in videos. The style and the way I trade, you guys know by now, the ones that follow the channel, what I look for. And if you're not a current subscriber, what are you waiting on? Take the time right now. I'll give you 5 seconds. Go ahead, click on the sub button down below, because there's so much valuable. I give away so much valuable content, information, okay, within the content that I create. Yes, so much valuable information that I'm pretty sure is going to help you out in some way or another down the road. So what do you have to lose? Take the time to sub now. Go ahead, click on that subscribe button. All right. And do me a favor. Also, make sure to turn all your post notifications on by clicking on the bell. All right. That's going to ensure you never miss one of the uploads. Now, let's get back to the video here. Taking high probability setups. If you've been following the channel, like I just said, you know that I like to see imbalances within the market. They mean something. And if you don't know what the imbalances mean, then you need to do your homework. You need to spend some time watching the videos. All right, because I'm not going to sit here and go over and over and over like a retaught lesson or trying to defining things each and every single time and covering the same topic that I talked before. I do that from time to time because I really want people to understand. And sometimes we as people may not catch things the first time around, and then we may see it again and then pick up on it. Most people are visual learners. Okay, there are some that can read and pick up on concepts, but most people have to see it and work with it, hands-on. All right. So that's why I kind of recover and talk about things again over and over, because I want to see people succeed and I want them to catch the gist and grasp the understanding of what I'm trying to say. Okay. So take high probability setups, guys. Look for, You know, I'm a supply and demand style trader, so I like to see solid areas where there's aggressive buying or selling. But one of the key components is I want to see an imbalance lie, which lies back at that area of supply and demand. Okay, and there's a reason for that. All right, but I'm not going to explain that here because I've already done that in many videos. Number 4, focus on 1 or 2 markets. Stop loading. Let's say you got 2 monitors or 3 monitors. Stop having so many different things up that you're looking at. Okay, because you're going to confuse yourself. You're going to make mistakes. You may jump into a trade on, let's say you got your dome, say for instance, your super dome, or if you're a chart trader, whatever the case is, set to one particular market, and then you want to get into a trade, but you're looking at something else, and then you thought you have or switched over to that particular market you want to trade, but you didn't. Okay, let's say you're looking at the trade on the ES, all right, but you have your super dome set up for to trade the NASDAQ. You take a trade on the NASDAQ. Yes, I know the two kind of follow suit with one another, from time to time, whatever, the NASDAQ is doing, the other indices are kind of following suit, or the S&P 500. Yeah, but the NASDAQ is a fast moving market. So by the time it's probably already finished its move, and you want it to get in on that ES trade, what happens is the NASDAQ may be pulling back while the ES is trying to finish up what it's doing. And then you take a losing trade, because you didn't set your Superdome correctly as far as the market you intended to trade. Stop. Another thing is to focus on something. Focus on 1 or 2 markets, okay? And I would say if you're a beginner trader, really focus on 1 market. Stop jumping over, and lots of new traders struggle with that because they get frustrated because they can't take a trade one day, or the market didn't do this today, it didn't do it, the second day. So then they say, well, I'm going to look at both this market and this market at the same time, or a third market as well. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's a great thing to be able to trade, and be able to have multiple markets up. Maybe I wouldn't say multiple as far as it means of like 4 or 5 or 6 different markets. Me, it's 1 or 2. I may have the ES up or the NASDAQ up, and maybe sometimes I'll even look at the Russell because I'm an indice style trader. But someone that's a new trader, I would not recommend having multiple markets up, okay? Because you're going to make a mistake somewhere down the road. Focus on the setups that you're looking for in one particular market, all right? It's supply and demand is universal. You can trade it. It doesn't matter the market, but just focus in on with supply and demand style trading in one particular market and work your way up from there, all right? Don't allow yourself to get too confused and just so bogged down. It's like having a bunch of paperwork on your desk, and you just don't have a clean surface or space to be able to focus in on and pay attention to things because you're clutter minded. You got things here, you got things laid here and here, a pile just just sorted everywhere, and you can't focus on one thing. Focus on one thing at a time, all right? And you will see that it will benefit you more than trying to just focus on a bunch of things at one time, okay? So just kind of have tunnel vision in this sense here by focusing in on one particular market, and then show growth from there. All right. So moving on to the last thing I want to talk about today, which is number 5. Take a mental break. Take an hour in between. If the market isn't doing anything, step away from your computer. If you traded a couple trades, say 1 or 2 trades, then maybe it's time for you to stop. Go find something that's a stress reliever. Take a walk. Go outside, walk your dog, do some exercises, refresh yourself, grab a cup of coffee or some water, or, a nutritional snack, whatever it may be, just take away. Because when you sit here and you're looking at the market for hours, or you've already taken a few trades, you may end up taking a bad trade because what happens lots of times is people think, or they find themselves, oh, I'm up on 2 trades. Oh, let me try one more time. And that third time, by that third time that trade they get into, they done blown what they made for that day. They took all the profits, and now they're taking a loss. Now they're having to go back and try to make up what they, off the first 2 trades, what they made. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. What's smart is giving yourself, because you're human, give yourself a break, a breather, step away, come back, feel refreshed, and then you're able to focus again. Just like when you sat down in front of your machine, your monitors, when you first, sat down and started looking at your charts. All right. When we sit here for hours on end looking at our charts, things at that point could get stressful. Our eyes kind of get and our bodies kind of get weary, and we need to a little a little reprieve. We need to go find something to do, and then come back to it with a new outlook and say, okay. And it'd probably be a great time for you then to look at the first and second trade you took that morning, or that one trade you took and said, oh, that was a great setup. Let me see if I can find another setup like that that may happen today. If not, then stop. You're already up. Why keep pushing the envelope when you already made money? Most traders and some traders may take one good trade a day, okay, and then they walk away. You may be asking, well, how can they do that if they're only trading one contract or two contracts? Because maybe they got into a good trade and they were able to capitalize by staying in the trade for a long period of time. They understand what the market's trying to do, so they can allow it to run, allow the trade to run. Some traders may put on 5 contracts, 6 contracts, and getting one good trade, and they're done. There's so many different strategies that you can use when it comes to being able to profit within the markets. If you got the capital to take a trade, one trade, and put multiple contracts on, then maybe one and done is good for you. If you feel like you need to take 2 trades at a smaller lot size, then maybe that works for you. That's why I stated at the beginning of the year, one of my things I was working on was allowing my trades to take bigger runners. Okay, I'll look for greater setups that will allow me to capitalize versus having to take a bunch of small little trades. Nothing wrong with that if you're a great scalper. But for me, I'm just looking for maybe just a few trades. 1, 2, if it's another great setup, 3. I'm not looking to get into, 10 trades, 6 trades, 7 trades. Excuse me. I'm just looking for just a few great setups that I can get into that are going to allow me to profit just with 2 or 3 contracts, and then some traders will take one trade with 10 contracts or 20 contracts, You just have to be comfortable. When you start bumping up your contract size, your lot sizes, and you're looking for that one great trade, and you're going to drop, say, 10 contracts on, you're trading, and maybe you're only looking for a 2 or 3 point move. That, again, there's so many different ways to and techniques to be able to profit the same amount if you have the capital. So let's say you trade 10 contracts. You can profit off of one trade, in what it would take some traders to take 10 trades with small lot sizes, trading one contract at a time. They may take 10 trades, So great-minded traders understand and learn the game early on, And sometimes it does take time for people to really see as traders what works best in my interest. I've tried everything under the sun myself, from trading larger size lots to trading small size lots. Yeah, that's why I trade 2, 3, no more than 4 contracts at a time sometimes, Most times it's 2 or 3. And I'm focusing on 2 or 3 good trades because I'm in for it for the run of picking up multiple points now with the small lot sizes versus going out there and just putting all my cards on the table and trading being very aggressive with it with a big lot size, say 10, 20 contracts. Yeah, I could do that, but I'm not about just trying to be greedy at the same time. Don't let greed step in your way, guys, of the markets, of you profiting and becoming a great trader. Because we all know the saying about greed, Greed can be the root of evil of all things, right? All right, people lose money every single day because they get too greedy and, they get smacked on the head pretty hard. So just be smart about and look for the high probability setups, like I said before. And the mental side to it, taking a break, that's extremely important. You have to rest the mind, You feel as if you're frustrated. You feel as if the market is not doing anything. It's consolidating. It's moving sideways. Don't force the hand. When you force the hand and start taking crazy trades, I was going to say stupid, but start taking crazy trades, then that's when you make the biggest mistakes, okay? But that's all I have for you guys in this video. I just wanted to kind of cover and talk about, some ways that will allow you and me as retail traders to stay disciplined each and every day, which allows us to stay focused when we are into the markets, when we're looking at our charts, okay? So please, I want to see everybody succeed at the end of the day. All right, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. If you can do me one favor and drop a like by hitting that clicking on the like button, I would definitely appreciate it. I'm on this journey of really trying to push out content that's going to aid other fellow members. Oh, and one thing I do want to do, because I do want to just kind of point out, the supply and demand type setups. Okay, people may ask all the time, so what do you mean by high probability setups? I just want to show you an example or two. And that's why I have my chart up right here before I jump off. I know I was about to end the video, but let me show you guys, because I know some people out there probably asking, what does he mean by high probability setup? I'm just saying that the market's moving to the upside. This is off a 12 range chart. It's not my higher time frame, but still, you can still take trades off of a lower time frame chart when trading supply and demand. Okay. Now, one of the key components, like I always say, is looking for an aggressive area of buying or selling. All right, aggressive buying, demand, aggressive selling, supply. This here is an area of demand. I'm just going to mark this real quick, and we're going to do a quick, just a little recap in a sense, okay? And look, what you see is the market making higher highs and higher lows. But what you see coming out of this swing to the upside is price break structure. It takes out this high right here, runs this high right here above 45, say 94 and a half, okay? But one thing I want you to focus in on when you're looking for great setups surrounding supply and demand, look to see, is there any area of aggressive buying coming out of a break of structure to the upside or downside? In this case here, to the upside, okay? So we see all this aggressive buying. You have to think, well, who's behind that type of move, okay? Smart money, if you want to call it that, or the big banks, all right? So there's big money being injected into the market here to cause a move like this right here. And we wait for the opportunity as supply and demand style traders for the market to come back to the zone. All right. This is the demand zone. Okay. Did it come all the way back and fill this imbalance or gap right here? No, it didn't. Okay. All right. It did when it made this move here to the downside, but that's fine though, because it did tap into the zone here, the demand zone. And we do have a little fair value gap right here in this area. From this candle breaks up from this little gap right here between these candles, this candle and this candle that broke to the upside right here. So price did come down and tap into a demand zone, and it tapped into a fair value gap. Okay, so that is a high probability setup for me, because it's tapping into an imbalance or gap, and we have an aggressive area of buying right here. And this is a break of structure. And I talk about this in many videos, what I look for. First and foremost, a break of structure. And coming out of a break of structure, when you see the market break above here and there's an area of aggressive buying, then that's the second part, a demand zone. And one of the most key components of my strategy is looking for it to see if price is going to pull back to that imbalance or a gap at that zone. Okay, and we have all that right here. FVG, demand, aggressive buying, price comes back, boom. It gets back here. What am I looking for then? I'm looking for some rejection. You can scale down to your 4 range chart or take a trade chart off the 12 range chart. Here, get a break of a candle in opposite direction. I'm looking to aim for what? Some means of liquidity above. Okay, there's liquidity because there's equal highs right here. And when price is aiming for that area, I'm also looking above that area to see, okay, if price breaks this area, is there a possibility it can start filling some gaps or some imbalances above here? Yes, it does. What did it do? It rejected the zone, broke above, took out liquidity here, and filled the imbalances or gaps right here. I'm just showing you an example of what I look for as a supply and demand style trader. That's my strategy of how I trade, okay? All right? And not every single day are you going to see clean setups like that in every market, but you have to look for things like that to happen, okay? So that's all I wanted to do today, guys, was just share with you and what I was looking for on moves like this, and hopefully you can capitalize on similar setups. But outside of that, this is what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope that you spend time, become patient, and allow yourself to become disciplined and structured when you're trading on a daily, all right, on your own, okay? But I appreciate everyone. See you guys in the next video. Take care. If you're interested in joining our Discord community, because people ask all the time, look down in the description portion of this video. You'll find a link for the Discord. Click on it. Invite yourself in. Come over to the trading floor where we as fellow traders, we have a great community of traders where we share our trades on a daily. I post my entries and my trades that I take, as well as lots of other community members that are part of the Discord. So come over and look at some of the trades we take and come over and converse and talk. There's both the general chat channel and the trading floor. The trading floor is where we trade and post screenshots of our entries and trades we take on a daily. But that's it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and have a great rest of your weekend.